You gotta finish! Go do your job. Let's go, man!
Everybody knows what the goal is at the end of the season. Everybody wants to win the championship, but I think the biggest thing you got to do is provide the roadmap for how we're going to get there.
Back on the ball. I want to see it again. Get our head out of our... We're playing sloppy. Let's go.
In training camp, the biggest thing that I like to do is show them the direction of the team, show them the steps that we're going to have to take to get to our ultimate goal, which is to win a championship.
Inside Training Camp Live on NFL Network. Here are the quarterbacks for the Raiders. Checking on Raider Camp, their second week of training camp. It is a new-look team. Charles Woodson back wearing 24. Good to see there. Jamie Dukes. You got a quarterback battle. Kind of, not really. It's stop it with the Matt Schaub jokes.
That's messed up.
That's messed up. Let's go live to Napa Valley. Takes a lot to get Steve Mariucci out of the house in the offseason. But when we say Napa Valley, go check out the Raiders, Mooch will send a car.
Done.
Done. Welcome to Inside Training Camp Live. How is Napa Valley with the Raiders, Moochie?
Andrew, I drove my own car up here, all right? Took me 2 hours. I didn't stop at any wineries or anything to do a little wine tasting. This place is awesome. They want me to come back again tomorrow. I'm here. I've never been to this camp here in Napa Valley, but it's fantastic. I'm talking to the guys. They're getting a lot of work done. The energy is great here. There's optimism. I'm enjoying being here at Raider Camp.
I mean, compare it to your Niner camps back in the days. Don't you wish the Niners did Napa in retrospect?
I think every team would love to be in Napa for a training camp. You know, the weather is perfect. This is a hot day. It's probably 82 or something. And, you know, they got the hotel. Half of the hotel here at the Marriott is all Raiders. And so they have places for people. Here's the weight room right there. I'm going to go do some curls for the girls here in a minute. And then they have bleachers in the back. And for fans, the season ticket holders sometimes come in and watch. This is a perfect setup, if you ask me.
Yeah, well, the ice cream man's right behind you, too, so be careful with that, Mooch. You know, wines...
Okay, I'm going to go over there.
Wines, we're told, get better with age. But the fact that the Raiders added a 33-year-old quarterback and a bunch of guys on defense that are all like 31 and 32, do they get better with age, too? Shouldn't they have gone for, you know, a more recent vintage with some of their free agent pickups?
You know, I was talking to Charles Woodson earlier, and talk about age. This is his 17th year in the National Football League. He started here, right? Then he went to the Packers, won a Super Bowl. Now he's back, came back last year, his 17th year, and I asked him about all of these veterans. There are a dozen veterans that are going to be very beneficial to this organization. So in some ways, it looks like Reggie McKenzie and Dennis Allen are saying, hey, we are in a tough division. Let's face it, this is the toughest division, guys, in the AFC, right? The other three teams are in the playoffs. So they've got to win here, and they've got to do it quickly, and by signing these free agents who have either had good individual success like Pocket Hercules or good team success like a Justin Tuck and Lamar Woodley. Matt Schaub has had some good years too in Houston. On and on. There's a lot of examples. There will be a lot of new starters for this Raider team, and it won't be a lot of rookies. It's veteran players that get it, that'll be competitive right away. They got to stay healthy, and they've got to be here for a year or two so they can kind of get in sync together. But boy, there's a lot of successful guys here coming together at one time.
And Coach, that's the reason why I think that it was genius the way you brought all of those guys in, because now what it allowed them to do, McKenzie to do, was take a look at his draft board and pick guys. If his draft board said, let me grab another safety or a lineman, or in this particular case, quarterback, off the board, they get the guy that they want. What do you think is going to happen with the quarterback scenario for the Raiders?
Yeah, and then that's the topic du jour, because the Raider quarterback situation, when you think about it, in the last decade, guys, they've had 17 different starting quarterbacks. The only other team that's got 17 different starting quarterbacks, that's the Cleveland Browns. So you know when you're playing musical chairs at that position, you're just not having any success, and that holds true here. So they're hoping that Matt Schaub has got some good years left. And I'm going to talk to him after practice on air. I hope you get to see that, because he's talking to Rod Streeter here, a receiver, says, you know what, I think Matt Schaub's got his mojo back. And then he mentioned that young kid named Derek Carr from down the street here at Fresno State, and he said he can sling it too. So hopefully they've got a quarterback or two on this roster that are going to be here for a while, that are going to be able to provide some continuity with their offensive system. They just haven't had that here in Oakland. So it's going to be interesting to see what that quarterback battle will be like. I'm going to ask Dennis Allen here right before practice starts how exactly sharing the reps with those guys to make it fair competition.
Hey, Mooch, could you talk about the development of Khalil Mack and how he's doing out there and how he's adjusting to the competition of the National Football League?
Yeah, you know, I was talking to Justin Tuck about him. I haven't seen him practice yet because they're going to practice here at 3 o'clock, and I'm anxious to see him. Now, they're going to play him at the Sam linebacker, and he will be used in coverage. He'll be used to rush the passer, which he's done very, very well in college at Buffalo. Now, here's a guy, though, that is from a smaller school. However, his best game was against Ohio State in front of 90,000 people. So I don't think this game's going to be too big for him. Talking to Jason Tarver, his defensive coordinator, who I know very well, says he's a very, very smart guy. He's made 4 mental mistakes so far in training camp. That's it. There's some technique mistakes and then teaching some new things. But as far as getting it, being coachable, learning the system, he's one of those guys that's a quick study. So I'm anxious to watch him. In fact, I'm going to get him with a little interview. We're going to do some things after practice with this Khalil Mack kid, the 5th pick in the draft from Buffalo.
All right, you know, Charlie Casserly was up there a couple of days ago. He said he wants T-shirts, the Silver and Mack, so maybe you should bring that up to him, Mooch.
Ooh.
Like
okay,
that?
we could start selling those over there in front
That's
of the
what
hotel.
Charlie said. Charlie and I already struck a deal, though.
Ice cream.
It's Charlie's idea. But get some ice cream, and we'll check in with you later.
All right.
All right. More coming up from Steve Murray.
We will do that.
We'll do that in Napa a little bit later. As he gets ice cream, we'll ask this. Why not us for the Oakland Raiders? Why not the Oakland Raiders? They do bring in Matt Schaub, who is 21-13 as a starter since 11. Justin Tuck, Lamar Woodley, despite their age, they beef up the defense. And then you have a very young linebacker here in the 5th overall selection. And you have Maurice Jones-Drew added to Darren McFadden. MJD, yes, is 29 years old. All right, the Raiders, specifically the quarterback, because as we've said all along, Michael Robinson, Jamie Dukes, it comes down to the quarterback. Matt Schaub did become last year the first quarterback to throw a pick-6 in 4 consecutive games, hence your little jab at him before when we showed Matt Schaub video. Does he go back to the Matt Schaub, though, that we saw a couple of years ago in Houston? Throwing touchdowns, leading an effective offense, being a winning quarterback.
You want me to take this one?
Yes, please.
You're a fullback lead.
Yes. I do think Schaub will have a better season than last year. He has to cut down on the turnovers. But they didn't draft Derek Carr for no reason. They drafted him for the future. They drafted him to be the quarterback of the Raiders' future. So I think his numbers will be better. But I can't say this is a true renaissance.
Well,
for Matt Schaub.
let me ask this.
Okay.
Does Schaub play enough to hold off Derek Carr this year?
Probably
To play well
not.
enough?
Probably not, because they're going to need to get him the reps. The point is that offensively, how are they going to compete with the likes of who's in their division? And I think that's what you have to look at. If nothing else, San Diego, Kansas City, and also that Denver team, they put points on the board. And so while the defense is going to be better, it's going to be more sound offensively. Who are the wide receivers? Who is he throwing the ball to? I mean, he was throwing to Andre Johnson, having a tough time. So if you're not right,
Yes.
I didn't make this up.
He's not a Schaub believer. He's not a
I'm
Schaub
just saying
believer.
he was throwing. He had Andre Johnson, and he was having trouble. So who are the receivers again for the Raiders? I think somebody Streeter or something.
Rod Streeter is there.
Yeah, right. Andre Johnson, Streeter. So I just don't know how you can be optimistic
Denarius
offensively.
Moore?
Very good point. Very good point.
He came
Power
last
forward
year.
in high school, right? Right.
Yeah. Just throwing it out there.
No,
As for the
I'm
age,
just-
just by the way, Schaub's 39, MJD's 29 on defense.
Schaub's
you have
not 39.
Justin
33.
Tuck's
Schaub's
33. I'm sorry,
Yes.
33 and 29. Justin
39.
Tuck's 31. Lamar Woodley's 29. Antonio
Peyton
Smith is
age,
32. Hey, you know what? We forgot James Jones, the former Packer. James Jones at wide receiver.
That's a quality. That's a quality wideout.
target. He
That's
is
a
30
quality
years
wideout.
old, coming home, played his college ball at San Jose State, so he's a nice addition there
The
as well.
question is, can he be a one?
Excuse me.
Can he be a one?
Andre Johnson, James Jones. I was just trying to process that. I was just taking that in. Okay. The bodies of work are.
What you think about that coming up on Inside
Don't do
Training
that.
Camp Live? Peyton Manning will dance, and he'll dance for you. The
What
best
song
of
was playing? That's
another
terrible.
week of Inside
That's
Training
terrible.
Camp.
Rocky Top,
Hey,
man.
then you
That's
dance
terrible.
better if you
I've
think it's
never heard
terrible.
anything like that. I've
That's
never
Rocky,
seen that before.
Rocky Top.
Wow.